we're going to head up the pass from here, and from here on up is where we're most likely to see some wildlife. We don't see it, of course, every time, but we do occasionally see some animals up here. In my 5 years of working here as a tour guide, I have seen black bears, grizzly bears, mountain goats, Dall sheep, moose, caribou, wolves, coyotes, and a very large cat that looks sort of like a bobcat, except it's about 3.5 feet tall. It's called a lynx. I've also seen bald eagles and another interesting bird called the willow ptarmigan. The willow ptarmigan is the state bird of Alaska, and it's like a grouse or a pheasant in that it prefers to walk and only flies if it has to. It changes its feathers twice a year. In the spring, they're black, gray, and brown. In the winter, they change to pure white, so the ptarmigan can hide from its predators in any season. I'm also told that they taste just like chicken. I haven't made a meal of one of those birds yet, but I'm looking forward to that first meal. Just up ahead, we're going to see a brown structure, which is the Captain Moore Suspension Bridge. It is a unique structure, one of only a few like it in the entire world. It's earthquake resistant, and it's built over an earthquake fault, where many earthquakes happen on a regular basis. Most of these earthquakes are not felt by people, they're only sensed by seismic equipment. But the design of this bridge is such that if a heavy earthquake hits, the far end of the bridge breaks off, swings around, and is easily reattached to the roadway. Thank God I've only heard the theory on this. We're going to drive really slow across the bridge because it's a very attractive spot, and I've seen many wild animals in this neck of the woods. Right in this general area of this bridge, I've seen bears, mountain goats, and moose. So we'll drive nice and slow across it in hopes of seeing some animals. Waterfall. It's sunken in the rocks here. It looks almost like a fantasy waterfall from a movie. You'd expect a troll to come out of there with a pot of gold for us. Just up ahead here by this guardrail, about a month ago, I saw a mother bear with a cub right here along the roadway. And about 12 weeks ago, I saw another mother bear with 3 cubs right in this vicinity. So one never knows just exactly when an animal is going to make its appearance. But lots of animals come through this particular area right here. It's a natural migration corridor for wildlife as well as for people. We're going to make a brief stop here because this is a magnificent vista to photograph. Here I have some interesting things to show you. I have a map of the area. Right here is Skagway, and this is the inside passage. So you folks sail through there on your cruise ships, and you came to Skagway, and so did the prospectors. They hiked up the pass we just drove up, and they were carrying all that ton of goods on their back. They went to Lake Bennett, which is Carcross, the city right here, is at the north end of Lake Bennett. Where they built their boats was about 20 miles south of Carcross on the south end of Lake Bennett. And they were working in minus 40-degree temperatures building those boats. When the spring thaw came at the end of May, 1898, they sailed those homemade boats all the way down the Yukon River to Dawson City, which was over 500 miles away. That was the quickest and least expensive way to get to the gold. So you can all take a look at that map. Right here I have an itemized list of the ton of goods. All the things that the men had to carry. Bacon, beans, rice, potatoes, picks and shovels, hatchets, all sorts of mining tools, and heavy clothing. All the things they need to live 1 year in the Yukon Territory. Now, some women were also brave enough to make the journey. And a lady reporter in the Skagway News in 1897 named Annie Hall Strong wrote this article in December of 1897. And this was a recommended list of items for the ladies to take up the pass in addition to their ton of goods. A very, very interesting article. So, finish up the photographs here in this magnificent spot, and then we'll head up the pass and see what else we can see, and I'll tell you some